Good day, everyone. Today, let me tell you about the history of volleyball, and also I will discuss the facilities and equipment needed for volleyball. Volleyball began in the mind of a man named William G. Morgan. The original name is Mantonet and changed into volleyball very early on. Like the name, the rules also changed over years, and this sport was remained solely an American sport, but then it crossed the ocean and became the most popular and interesting sport worldwide. And now it is an Olympic game which is played and watched by millions of people. 1900, it is the year where the volleyball decide ball was created. During the 1912, the number of a player on a team was set to 6, and during the 1915, the number of a player on a team varies between 2 to 6. In 1915, the volleyball arrives in France, and France reaches with American soldiers who were fighting in the First World War. In 1916, the scoring changed to a form who reminds of today's scoring system. And also, the score changed from 21 to 15 points, and the sets were introduced. During that time, the ball was allowed to play with the feet, which is interesting because the FIVP allowed it again in the recent rules changes during the 1995. In 1952, it is the history of the Volleyball Moscow World Championship. Until the early 1930s, the game of volleyball was more recreational sports with only few international competitions on it. International volleyball rules were standardized during the 1964 when the indoor volleyballs became an Olympic sport in Tokyo. 1956, this is a big year for volleyball. Why? Because the first official FIVP bulletin is published, and it is the first championship held in Paris. And also during the 1958, the new defensive hit is demonstrated by sites which is called a bugger. And during the 1959, the screening on the serve is not allowed anymore by the rules. 1960, it is the first time where the World Championship lived in the continent of Europe and played in South America. And during the 1962, it is where the World Championship was played in Moscow, and the USSR men take the leads, and also the Japanese women with the first victory. And during the 1963, it is where the European Federation was founded. During 1964, the first Olympic tournaments are played in Tokyo, and during the 1965, in Poland, the first Men's World Cup are played, and during the 1967, it is the year where the first African Continental Championships are held. 1968 is the recommendation to use antennas, and 1970 is the World Championships are held in Bulgaria. And now, let's talk about the facilities and equipment needed for volleyball. First is the ball. The standard volleyball is made up of leather or synthetic leather, and the weight is between 9 to 10 ounces, and also it has the conference of 25.6 or 26.4 inches. The net and court. The outer volleyball court measures 18 times 9 meters, surrounded by a prison that is 2 meters wide on all sides. For women, the net should be 7 feet, which is also 4 to 1/8 inches high. And for men, the net should be also 7 feet, which is also 11.58 inches high. Next is the lines. The playing court is marked with 2 side lines and 2 end lines. And also, it also said that all lines must be 2 inches wide, and must be created with a light color that is easy to discern from a flying court. Posts and cables. The volleyball net structure is held together with a metal cables and also a post. Posts are placed with 0.5 to 1 meters outside the sidelines and also 2.55 meters height. And posts should be rendered smooth and padded, and the metal wires should be covered. Next is the antenna and sidebands. Antenna is a flexible rod that is 1.8 meters long, made of fiberglasses, fastened at the outer edge of each sideband, and the sideband is a white band that is attached vertically to the net and placed above each sidelines. Next is the knee pads. Knee pads should be sturdy enough to protect your knees from falls, slides, and dumps, but flexible enough to allow you to move or bend comfortably. The next one is shoes. Arc and ankle support is key when choosing a volleyball shoes. It is good that a shoes is a lightweight, allowing to be faster and also to have a lateral movement. To have a better lateral movement. The last one is about clothing and jewelry. All clothing should be lightweight, allowing to a maximum flexibility and breathability. As well, the clothes must be made of material that can absorb sweat and keep your skin dry. And jewelry is not permitted in playing volleyball. And that's all the facilities and equipment needed for volleyball. Thank you for watching.